Hello again. The last video I made for you turned itself off rather abruptly while I was making it, so I'm just going to resume from where I was. I'd finished number 5 in practice problem set 1-7, and I want to go through two more problems, number 6 and number 8, in this practice problem set with you. Picking up then with number 6, I'll read this, but I'm going to skip the Swahili language words because I don't know how to pronounce them. It says, the smallest East African carnivore is the dwarf mongoose, which hunts in large packs for insects and small creatures by day, making temporary homes in termite hills. This mongoose is easily tamed and can be treated as a domestic pet. I hope you can tell that the first sentence here is not part of the argument. It's giving, part of it is a topic sentence, and part of it is giving us additional information that might, provide a more informed understanding of the argument. The argument, though, is entirely contained in the last sentence, which again reads as follows. This mongoose is easily tamed and can be treated as a domestic pet. I see one word here, the word as, which is commonly used as a premise introducer. I don't see anything that introduces a conclusion here. The word as, however, in this sentence is not introducing a premise. It means something like in the capacity of or in the manner of. In other words, this mongoose can be treated in the manner of, more simply, like a domestic pet. Well, no introducers then. As is not being used to introduce anything here, and that's why I'm saying no introducers then. Notice, though, that we could insert the conclusion introducer, therefore, right after the word and. That would give us the following. This mongoose is easily tamed and, therefore, can be treated as a domestic pet. That lets us know that the conclusion content is after and. So let's pick up there to write the conclusion. Now, obviously, we're going to have to add to this. Can be treated as a domestic pet is not a complete sentence. We need to pick up the subject from earlier on. What is it, in other words, that can be treated as a domestic pet? Well, the dwarf mongoose. I'm not just going to say this mongoose. This is working like a pronoun to refer to something that was mentioned earlier at the beginning of the paragraph. So let's specify which mongoose this is about. It's the dwarf mongoose. All right, just one more from this practice problem set that I want to go through with you, and that's number 8. This was from the student newspaper here at Cal State Northridge, the Daily Sundial, a few years ago. And it says, the fact that a world power such as the U.S. still has not recognized the Armenian genocide shows their moral compass is not pointed towards truth. I'm noticing again the word as. It's functioning here within the phrase such as. We have noticed earlier that the phrase as such is a conclusion introducer. But even though this is a very slight difference, the order of the words such and as, even though that's a very slight difference, it makes all the difference to meaning. As such introduces a conclusion. Such as never introduces a conclusion. It means something along the lines of for example or like, and that's how it's working here. There is, however, a word that is functioning as a conclusion introducer here, the word shows. Some fact, as says, shows that the moral compass of the U.S. is not pointed towards truth. Shows. A way to see that this is functioning to introduce the conclusion here is to notice that you could substitute the word proves or the word demonstrates for shows. Proves and demonstrates are clear examples, almost paradigm examples, of conclusion introducers. So we've got shows introducing the conclusion here. After that, this says their moral compass is not pointed towards truth. Of course, that doesn't make sense by itself because we don't know who or what there refers to. It refers back to the United States. So how about if we say the following? The moral compass of the U.S. is not pointed towards truth. All right, that's it for what I'm going to cover in video for you on 1-7. You, of course, are strongly encouraged to work through the rest of these practice problems on your own, and you have complete answers to them in your book. So I hope that you will both work on them and check your own work, and also, of course, ask me any questions that you might have about them. Talk to you soon. Bye.